Hello and welcome back to my review of the Master Grade 1 to 100 scale Gundam Astray Red Frame Kai. In the second part of this review, we will be going over the main weapons, the Katanas, putting together the entire Gundam, checking out its posability, as well as posing it as just the Master Grade Red Frame. Let's start. Let's begin the review by taking a look at the Red Frame signature weapon, the Katanas. You get the Gundam Astray and the Tiger Pierce, and they are pretty much identical except for on the chrome blade you get a kanji marking on the hilt. In this case, this is the Tiger Pierce. Now, the Katanas are made of three basic pieces: the actual blade, the sheath, and the connector piece. Now, you might realize that I have painted this katana, mainly this part, the guard, at the very end of the hilt. Now, I have painted it with a Krylon metallic gold, and I do realize that it doesn't really look that good, but overall, I think that it looks a lot better than the very, very bad yellow that it originally came with. Now, taking a look at the actual blade, there is one flaw with this, which is the blade can sometimes, because there is no piece to lock it into the hilt, the blade will slide out. But overall, it is chromed, and it looks very cool and very samurai-ish. Now, the sheath, the connector piece pops off very easily. It has a bolt joint which you attach into the leg of the red frame. It looks pretty good as well. I did some real touch marker lining, as well as some gray lining over here, and some black lining on the edge. Now, it looks pretty good, and there is a slit right here, so you can either see right through it, or you can see some of the chrome blade. There are holes right here that allow you to pop it into the manipulator and aim for more dynamic poses. Overall, this is a very, very good accessory, and is worthy of being the Astray's main weapon. Putting together this Gundam is pretty simple. Just take the waist section and plug in the peg into at the legs. Plug both legs in to form the lower body. Moving on to the upper body, we'll take the arm and plug the shoulders in, and then plug it into the arm socket. Do that both times, and then plug in the neck and the head into their joints, and you have the top of the body. Then you will simply plug the ball joint into the waist unit to form the entire Gundam. Here is the Gundam fully put together, and as you can see, it looks very impressive. Now, I've always liked the design of the Gundam Astray Red Frame, and this Master Grade really does do it justice. Here is a look at the back and on the side of the Gundam Astray Master Grade Red Frame Kai, and as you can see, the back has that giant grayish, almost blackish flap, as well as more white on the back of the arms, and exposes some red details on the back of the legs. Overall, the back of this Gundam really does look very muscularish. Now, on to articulating the Master Grade Red Frame Kai. On the top, the head is on a double ball point mechanism, so it can look up pretty high. It can do a 360 around the head, no problem at all. The one problem is this V-fin will occasionally fall off. Sorry about that, that was my phone. Now, it can also look to the side, both ways pretty well. It can look down for that menacing glares that Gundams are infamous for. And overall, it's a very good head, cool design, fun build, just that V-fin falling off. Now, onto the arms. The arms can lift up pretty high. It can move out to almost touch the other shoulder and bang across the head. And it has a 360-degree bend. Be careful of that far falling off. Under the shoulder, and has a 180 for the elbow bend. And it can even go over if you want to bend the wrist part fully up. Now, as you see in the parts, there are some sliding mechanisms, pretty cool, and I won't have to go into detail. Now, onto the waist mechanism, there is a double ball joint, so it can lift up and back pretty well. go side to side, and it's a very good combination of stability and articulation. Now onto the back, where you have the flap slash backpack. The flap can move up 180 degrees no problem, and as this chest bends up and down, there is a sliding mechanism right there, so this will stay in place no matter what. Now onto the lower body, where the waist can do almost a 360. Sometimes this part can get stuck and I don't want to push it sometimes, but after some wiggling you should be able to achieve a 360 no problem. Now onto the legs, where you won't quite get full splits unless you pop that part off, but honestly I can't see the red frame doing when full split kicks. He isn't the infinite justice. Now apart from that part falling off, you can attach it relatively easily by reattaching the mechanism, and you can lift the foot up far past the full kick, and as you saw in the parts, it has a very impressive knee bend for almost a 180. It has great ankle articulation, a 2-point foot for more dynamic poses. So overall, in terms of posability, this guy will do whatever you want, whenever you want, and it will look very cool thanks to his design. For the sanity of everyone who's watching this video, as well as my patience in doing these videos, I have decided to make this part of the review just more review of the Gundam Astray red frame, because it would take too long to review the tactical arms in this part of the video and still show it off pose with the red frame. I will do that along with the review of the tactical arms in part 3, along with my final thoughts and the grading of this Gundam. Now, as you can see, here he only has one katana, the Gundam Astray, as well as no tactical arms. Now, this isn't a perfect replica of what the Master Grade red frame would be, because the attachment of the Gundam Astray, as well as the design of the Gundam Astray sheath, is different. However, the original red frame did have the Gundam Astray worn upside down. So I have flipped it upside down to reflect more of a manga anime accurate sense. Here is a basic idea as to what the Gundam Astray red frame Master Grade can do. As you can see, it is very, very stylish, and the legs work very well, and the ankles, with its great mobility, ground poses are no problem at all. Does anyone recognize this pose? Here's a hint. The main character also has a sword, a katana more specifically, and he also has a lot of red on him. Here is an example of what you can do with the ability to have the hand hold the sheath. Now, the sheath is pretty heavy and long, so there are some slight weight issues, but overall, it's a very cool effect. Do you know what scene this is from? Here's a hint. It's the same as the last one, but the main character is doing it this time. You're probably more used to seeing a scene like this. There should be somebody's elbows breaking. And the series just got a live action movie in Japan. Can't wait till it gets subbed. Even a simple pose like this looks very cool. A very sleek and awesome design goes a long way in Gundam. You probably can't see it as well, but this is the 1:100 scale Action Base 1 by Bandai. And I'm planning to do a review on this soon, as I don't see many YouTube videos and reviews about this. Now, it's about $7 or $8 if you buy it online, and it is well worth it for the Gundam Astray red frame. And I will tell you about that in the tactical arms in part 3. But let's show you some poses with this guy up in the air. Thanks to the action base, the full posability of the legs are now reached. So you can have him in a very, very dynamic pose, with him holding the sword and the scabbard dashing forward. Very simple, very easy to achieve, but very, very cool and very satisfying. Really, I was just making this into another pose after the dashing pose, and basically anything with this model kit looks very stylized and very cool. The very traditional and typical both hands on the hilt and the sword over the head slashing down pose looks very nice, very stylish, very samurai-ish. 5 out of 5 in my book. As always, thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe if you like my videos and my reviews. I will try to put up more Gunpla reviews as I get more spare time. And in the next part of the review, part 3, we'll be going over the tactical arms, its forms, the action base, as well as many hidden goodies that Bandai has put into this Master Grade. See you next time.